All right, let's go.
All right, Chris, ladies, gentlemen, New York Giants dropped their Week 10 matchup against the Dallas Cowboys, 49-17. This was yet another unwatchable game for the Giants, as I think, expected. The Giants were able to get a garbage time touchdown to Sterling Shepard, which I felt like was excellent. Just great to see the longest tenured New York Giant get a receiving touchdown. Tommy DeVito had 2 touchdown passes in this game. Threw for 86 yards. Dallas, Chris, I don't know if you saw it. They had 640 total yards in this game. I tweeted something along the lines of, I don't know if a Dallas pass that went like 10 yards past the line of scrimmage hit the ground in this like entire game up until like the end of the fourth quarter. It was either a really long pass that was completed or it was an interception, which the Giants did get 2 of in this game, but of course it did not matter. Chris, how you doing, bud?
Yeah, we don't have to get into that right now, I don't think. Particularly because we don't like to encourage alcohol use on our podcast or streams.
Speak for yourself. No, this is just Waterloo seltzer water, but yeah, no, man, it was this is a rough, man. I'd say a positive about today, since we are looking forward as a franchise, is the Arizona Cardinals pulled off an upset victory. So all these crappy teams in the NFL, the Patriots, the Cardinals, all these other teams, it's good when they win football games.
Absolutely. I think right now the Giants fans can be big fans of the Cardinals, of the Patriots, of the Panthers, of the Bears. And those are not great teams to be fans of, although Kyler Murray is apparently still capable of being a problem for defenses, as he proved against the Falcons today. But yeah, the Giants fans have teams to root for. That's good.
It is good, man. And the Cowboys had a lot to root for in this game. It was one of those get-right spots, which we all unfortunately expected. They were 6 of 12 on third down. Giants did not convert a third down. They were 0 of 12. Again, 640 to 172 was the yard difference between these two teams. Giants actually won the turnover battle. Cowboys dominated time of possession. Nothing crazy here, man. Look, CeeDee Lamb couldn't be stopped. Brandon Cooks, it looked like vintage Brandon Cooks. He had 9 for 173 and 1. CeeDee Lamb had 11 for 151 and 1. And the Giants, man, when they lined up in man coverage and they tried to get aggressive and they tried to play press man coverage, it didn't matter. Dak Prescott was firing on all cylinders, went north of 400 yards in this game with 4 touchdowns. And then that 1 interception, Cooper rushed through the other. So it was just one of those, yet another, man, Dallas beat down on the New York Giants. And there's just been way too many of these in recent memory.
There really, really have. In fact, it's not even just recent memory anymore. It's been going on for far too long. I like you said, the good news in all of this is that the Cardinals won. The Giants currently hold the 2nd overall pick. So if Joe Shane, Brian Dable are thinking quarterback for the future to get their guy, the Giants are in a better position for that now than they were. And just judging by the way the team looks right now, I don't think the Giants have to worry about winning too many more games and screwing up their draft position.
No, I don't believe so either, man. It's a pretty rough look, to say the least. And on the defensive side of the football, defense didn't have really any answers, even though they came away with 2 turnovers. The one was just a really good play by Cordell Flott, who I think was eventually benched for Darnay Holmes. And Darnay Holmes was just, oh, geez, man, he got toasted so much in this game by CeeDee Lamb and by Brandon Cooks out of the slot. It was really just the Dallas Cowboys having their way and doing whatever the hell they wanted to do. I'll say this, Tony Pollard couldn't really get too much going on the ground, but then Rico Dowdle will come in and look better than even Tony Pollard. So it was like their backup running back was doing well. And that wasn't even just in the garbage time where he ended up scoring his touchdown. I did like, though, a positive Giants note, Chris, the touchdown on Lawrence Cager. I felt like that was a nice play. Motion him wide in, send him back wide, reduce the defense, and then take advantage of space in a condensed area. You just got to do what you can on offense. Exactly. And that was one of the ways, just manipulate space and use it to your advantage.
Yeah, and I would like to note, Cordell Flott wasn't benched. He left the game, ruled out with a shoulder injury. Kayvon Thibodeau ruled out with a concussion. I believe Deontay Banks ruled out with a concussion. Honestly, at this point, it was Jalen Hyatt, another rookie, that was ruled out with a concussion. Deontay Banks left with another injury. I believe that one might have been an ankle. Uh, this was just an ugly game all the way around, and it's considering the way the game started with the Giants getting a fourth down goal line stand to keep Dallas out of the end zone, at least to start the game. And then you get that interception of Dak Prescott. It almost looked like the Giants might be able to do something in this game, but
Yeah.
ultimately, just the talent disparity kind of took over. And then once injuries took hold, Andrew Thomas got rolled up on. He left the game. He left the field on a cart, came back into the game. So fortunately, everything seems to be okay there. But just the Giants are relying a lot on young players, whereas Dallas is a pretty veteran team right now. They're kind of in a lot of their players are kind of in their prime, and you could just see the disparity in the two teams. I can't really hang this one on Tommy DeVito. He did what he
Man.
could. He's an undrafted rookie free agent. He should not be on the field. Nobody planned for Tommy DeVito to be on the field for this game.
No, of course not. Yeah. You can't really put it all at the feet of him. It's just Dallas is significantly better football team than the Giants. And it sucks, man, because all offseason we're like, oh, did the Giants close the gap with the Dallas Cowboys? Maybe not the Philadelphia Eagles, but possibly the Dallas Cowboys. That's what like idiots like me were thinking. And geez, we couldn't have been more wrong because the Dallas Cowboys
Yeah,
are a far superior team right now. And on offense, man, with Tommy DeVito, and look, I'm not blaming Tommy DeVito, but they couldn't get anything going against his defense on the road. It was 3-and-out, 3-and-out, 5-and-out, 3-and-out, 4-and-out, 3-and-out. And like I said, again, they were 0-12 on third down. The Giants last season, one of the reasons why they were a good football team were they were efficient. They took
they were.
advantage of situations when they were there. Efficiency, it wanes. It doesn't always carry over year after year. And this year, it was a regression, just beyond the mean because it's worse
Yeah.
than what we could have imagined, I think.
Yeah. I suppose the good news with the regression to the mean is that there's got to be a bounce back next year.
Yeah.
The Giants, this team has more talent than their record would suggest. Injuries have played a big role in it. I think some limitations to the offensive scheme have played a role in it. Like, we said this, the first couple of weeks, the book is out on the Giants offense. Teams defenses kind of know what the Giants are going to do in certain situations. And I think the Giants also know that they want to be more aggressive. They went out and got Paris Campbell and Darren Waller, two guys with a lot of speed, with mismatch capability. They got Wan'Dale Robinson back. They drafted Jalen Hyatt. This is a team that wants to be explosive, but for a variety of reasons that we don't have to get into tonight. We've got a bye week coming up. We're going to have all off season to dissect this. They just haven't been able to do it. And then on the defensive side of the ball, like there's talent there. Dexter Lawrence is one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL. There's an argument to be made that he is the best defensive tackle in the NFL. Yeah, Kayvon Thibodeau is developing nicely out there on the edge. Azeez Ojulari, he does have some juice out there. We saw it today. Deonte Banks, I think he's going to be fine. The Giants linebackers are actually playing better than we have seen them play in 20 years between Bobby Okereke and Mike McFadden. So, like, there are pieces there. It's just that this is just a nightmare season.
Yep. It's absolute nightmare season. Freddy Krueger is living in all of our brains right now. So one of the things, I guess, Dallas, if we want to talk about scheme, look, they didn't have to do that much like X's and O's, Y's. They were Jimmy's and Joe's, which is a lot better than what the Giants had. But I liked how they were moving the pocket a lot in the first half to get Dak Prescott out on the roll and take advantage of man coverage with just quick comeback routes and then horizontal backside horizontal crossing routes, which is something that they torched the Giants with. And then the slot fade was something else the Giants really struggled to defend. I would also say the Giants on offense, a lot of quick concepts offensively, a lot of West Coast concepts. Can't knock that, right? Get the football out of Tommy DeVito's hands. And then I felt like the pony personnel wildcat to Barkley. Look, we applauded that last year. I have nothing negative to say about it, but at this point, it's just not fooling anybody, right? We've put this on tape for over a year now, and the Giants, look, you're going to try that against a team like Dallas. You're going to have all of these creative packages with a quarterback like Tommy DeVito. It's just we haven't seen the creativity of the New York Giants offense work at all.
Yeah.
A for trying, but it's just not going to be effective at this point because you're not threatening any defense anymore.
No, and the things the Giants are trying, they're more trick plays than creative plays. This isn't like what Mike McDaniel does with the Miami Dolphins, where he uses a lot of motion, a lot of eye candy, but it's motion and eye candy with a purpose
Yep.
to put players in motion, to give them a running start when everybody else is standing still, to put blockers in position with a running start, before defenders can get there. And we saw Dallas do this a little bit. I believe they had a play where CD Lamb went into motion and it just opened up something for, I believe it was Cooks on I believe it was a crossing route. I can visualize the play. I just don't recall exactly which receiver was on caught the ball. These are things that we would love to see the Giants use, but they're just not in a place where they can do that. They've got so many moving pieces because of injury right now that getting the kind of chemistry, the timing down that you need to be able to make that kind of offense work is kind of impossible. So again, it's just it that I think is the most frustrating thing about the Giants season is that you can see how it all should fit together. You can see the talent the Giants have on their roster. This is not a roster that's bereft of talent, but it's just they cannot get traction. They cannot get all on the same page for so many different reasons.
Yeah, no, and it started on the first drive of the season against these same Dallas Cowboys, right? That
It
first
did.
drive, they're like, oh, they're driving the football well. It's all good. Great. Oh, false start by Andrew Thomas. Not that big deal. It's just 5 yards. That just marked the downfall of the season, man. A bad
It,
snap by John Michael Schmitz, hurt hamstring by Andrew Thomas. Next thing you know, the Giants are, 2-8? We're looking at possibly staring down the barrel of the number 1 overall pick in the next draft, man. It's just insane, Chris. But you have anything else on this matchup, buddy?
no, no, not at this time. I guess it's kind of we're on to Washington. Uh, that I think will be interesting to see because the Giants' defense, at the very least, dominated that matchup last time.
Yeah.
It really will be interesting to see what kind of adjustments Washington makes to the Giants' defense, and if the Giants' defense can, or I'm sorry, the Giants' offense rather can do anything with Washington's defense minus Montez Sweat and Chase Young.
Yeah, no, that defense is a lot worse now. So we'll see if they can come up with some sort of game plan to afford Tommy DeVito. And well, there's a lot to shake up. Hopefully, some of these injuries, we get some more information because it seemed like the
Yeah,
Giants were just putting people in and taking them out. And I'm just glad that Andrew Thomas is okay. I saw, I think Dan Duggan tweeted that Thomas was going back on the field in garbage time, and like everyone on the sidelines was like, no, 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 like, get your ass back here, which is excellent because we don't want to see him go back out there. So yeah, but Chris, if you don't have anything else, I just want to thank everyone for joining us. I wish we had more substance here to dive into, but this was yet another debacle of a game for the New York Giants on a 49-17 beatdown at the hands of these damn Dallas Cowboys. So thank you so much for joining us, Chris. You have anything to say, bud?
no, we already kind of suffered through the longest 45 seconds of the year at the end of the game.
Dude,
I
yeah, it's
I
crazy.
don't think we really need to drag this out much longer. Uh, yeah, but just some things to watch as far as injuries. Maybe some of the things that happened on the sideline. Frustrations seem to be
Yeah.
simmering, but I kind of like that the players are frustrated. As long as Brian Dable can keep the locker room together, if they're frustrated, it's because they care. And I would rather they care and be frustrated than just not give a damn.
But that is a big if though, because around, week 10 in 2021, we weren't like Joe Judge is fired at the end of the season,
No,
right? So, and
no.
I'm not saying that's going to happen to Brian Dable, but you got to keep the locker room intact. And it seemed like one of the more mellow and I would say calmer individuals on the Giants, rational individuals. And Darius Slayton was one of the more heated ones on the sideline, according to a lot of the reports. But we'll have to dig into that to see exactly what's going on. But thank you everyone for tuning in to the Chris and Nick show here on Big Blue View Radio. Please subscribe to the podcast. And also, if you could, head on over to bigblueview.com. Check out all of our written content. Thank you. Take care of each other. Have a lovely day.